name is Mr. A. Satish Kumar. Now I am going to teach the types of rotors in case of the induction machines. The rotor is based on the rotor construction. The induction motors are classified into two types. That is the squirrel cage rotor induction motor and the slip ring wound rotor induction motor. Now I am going to teach the squirrel cage rotor induction motors. So this is the constructional features of squirrel cage rotor. You can observe here. So this is the short circuiting end rings. These are and this is the copper aluminum bars, and this is the rotor bar, and this is the laminations forming iron core, and this is the copper end rings will be there. So this is the constructional features of the squirrel cage rotor. In the squirrel cage rotor, the laminations forming iron core and the copper end rings will be rolls is the main important role here. Here, in case of the squirrel cage rotor, the eddy current losses in the rotor core is very less, as frequency of induced EMF is very less. Okay, and the induced current in the rotor core is very low. So we can use the thick laminations for the rotor core in case of the squirrel cage rotor. Okay, so that's why I'm using here thick laminations to forming the iron core. Why I'm using the thick laminations here is nothing but to reduce the current in case of the reduce the induced current in case of the rotor, and also to reduce the eddy current losses in case of the rotor. I am using the thick laminations to forming a iron core, and the rotor core is made up of silicon steel laminations, and the rotor laminations are made up of thick laminations. That is as rotor frequency is 1 to 4 Hz. So because if we are using the thick laminations, we can reduce the rotor induced current will be low, and as well as the eddy current losses will be reduces due to of the thick laminations. So means the semi-open type. According to the construction of the stator, we have the open type slots and the closed type slots, and the semi-closed type slots will be there. So means here the semi-open type slots are preferred, and the semi-open type slots are heavy copper bars are inserted. That's why for in case of the rotor construction, I am using the semi-open type slots are preferred, and in case of the semi-open type slots, we having the heavy copper bars are inserted here. And to make the closed path in the rotor circuit, to either side of the rotor bars are short circuited by these end rings. You can observe here this end rings will be short circuited here. Okay, so to reduce the eddy current losses, I am here to make a closed path in the rotor circuit. Okay, so to make a closed path in the rotor circuit, will be either side of the rotor bars are short circuited by these end rings to provide the closed path here. In case of the squirrel cage induction rotor. Okay, and these end rings are made up of forged special copper, and provides good mechanical support to the rotor bars here. And end rings should have good mechanical strength and also good conductivity will be there. And the features of squirrel cage rotor. You can observe here the squirrel cage rotor. In that squirrel cage rotor, the rotor poles are equal to stator poles by means of mutual induction. So in case of the squirrel cage rotor or induction machines will be depends on the mutual induction. The principle of the squirrel cage rotor is mutual induction. So depends on that mutual induction. In case of the squirrel cage rotor, the rotor poles are equal to the stator poles here. Okay, so by means of the induction. So means the operation of induction motor is possible even though stator and the rotor, that is the number of phase are unequal. And the operation of induction motor is not possible with unequal number of stator and rotor poles. That's why the rotor poles are very equal to stator poles by means of the induction. So because of the operation should not be possible, so with the unequal number of the stator and the rotor poles. So that's why the stator and the rotor poles should be equal here. And the less air gap due to this magnetizing current required is reduced and increased power factor, and the less leakage reactance will be there in case of the squirrel cage rotor. So these are the features of the squirrel cage rotor. And some drawbacks will be there, that is the in case of due to of the end rings will be roles, the main role will be participated here, the end rings will be, so due to by using the end rings I am the short circuited by the end ring. To facilitate the closed path in the rotor circuit, what you can do here, the either side of the rotor bars will be short circuited here. Okay, the rotor bars will be short circuited. Due to of that one, the drawbacks will be there, that is the in case of the squirrel cage induction motor, that we having the low starting torque and the high starting current and the poor power factor will be there. These are the drawbacks for the squirrel cage induction. And in case of the squirrel cage induction motor, the end rings having the some properties, that is the good mechanical strength will be there for in case of the end rings, for the end rings. And this you can observe here, this is skewed rotor slots or bars here. So this is the actual rotor, you can observe here, compared to this actual rotor to the skewed rotor. So these are the end rings here will be closed the path here. So what will happen here? To facilitate the closed path, these end rings will be short circuited here. These end rings will be short circuited here. Okay, you can observe here, this is the actual rotor, this is the skewed rotor. So you can skewed rotors are here, this is the rotor bars here. These rotor bars are slightly skewed here compared to this actual rotor here. Okay, so why I am using the skewed here? To reduce the eddy current losses, or to movement of the rotor will be freely, for the freely rotor movement I am using the slightly skewed will be there here. This rotor bars will be slightly skewed here, and these end rings will be short circuited. Why I am using short circuiting the end rings here? To facilitate the closed circuit path for the rotor. So what are the drawbacks for the squirrel cage rotor? What is that is first is low starting torque. Okay, and another is the high starting current. And another is the poor power factor. So these three are the drawbacks for the squirrel cage rotor. We discussed it now. So means due to of this low starting torque, means the squirrel cage rotor having the poor resistance, rotor resistance. That's why having the low starting torque. Okay. So next is high starting current. Why I am getting the high starting current? What is the drawback? This is the drawback for the squirrel cage rotor. Why I am getting the high starting current in case of the squirrel cage rotor? Because of this squirrel cage rotor having the low impedance at the starting. That's why I am getting here high starting current in case of the squirrel cage rotor. So this is the drawback for the squirrel cage rotor. And the another drawback is poor power factor. So due to of the squirrel cage rotor, I am getting the poor power factor in case of the rotor construction, in case of the induction machine. Why I am getting the poor power factor? That is because of low winding resistance. Due to of the low winding resistance, we are getting poor power factor in case of the squirrel cage rotor. So these three are the drawbacks for the squirrel cage rotor. That is the low starting torque and the high starting current and the poor power factor. Okay, so depends on these one, I am getting the some phenomena, that is the cogging phenomena and the crawling phenomena I am getting. So what is the cogging phenomena? What is the cogging? The cogging is nothing but the phenomena of magnetic locking. Between the stator and rotor teeth is called cogging or teeth locking. So means if you are using here, if you are using the skewed rotor, if you are in case of the actual rotor, if you are not using the skewed rotor, then what will happen? Some locking phenomena will be appear to the stator and rotor. Means the phenomena of magnetic locking between the stator and the rotor teeth is called cogging or teeth locking. So means these conditions will be erases the when the number of stator and the rotor slots are either equal or have an integral ratio. So due to of this one, I am getting the cogging phenomena in case of the induction machine. Okay, that is in case of the squirrel cage rotor. So means to reduce the eliminate process of cogging, the number of stator slots are never made equal to the rotor have an integral ratio. So means it can also be reduced by using the skewed rotor. That's why I am using the skewed rotor. You can observe here. So because of the to eliminate the cogging phenomena, I am using the skewed rotor here. Okay. So means here to reduce the eliminate process of cogging, that is the number of stator slots are never made equal to the rotor or have an integral ratio. It can also be reduced by using the skewed rotor. Okay. So this is the cogging phenomena we are getting in case of the squirrel cage induction motor. And also I am getting crawling phenomena also we are getting in case of the squirrel cage induction motor. Okay, so how we are reducing this crawling? What is make crawling is I will discuss now. That is crawling is nothing but the squirrel cage induction motor will be exhibits a tendency to run at very low speeds, that is as low as a seventh of their synchronous speed. Means this phenomena is called as crawling of an induction motor. Okay, so means this action is due to the fact that flux wave produced by a stator winding is not purely sine wave. Due to of that one, I am getting the crawling phenomenon. Means instead of it is a complex wave consisting of fundamental wave and hard harmonics like third and fifth and seventh etc. will be. Means you are getting the third harmonic or fifth harmonic or seventh harmonic like the hard harmonics I am getting. So due to of this crawling phenomenon. Okay, and the total motor torque now consisting of three components, that is the fundamental torque with synchronous speed ns. Okay, another is the fifth harmonic torque with synchronous speed ns divided by 5, and the seventh harmonic torque with the synchronous speed ns by 7. That is provided that higher harmonics are neglected here. Okay, this is the crawling phenomena in case of the squirrel cage induction motor. And next is slip ring or wound rotor. So the rotor core is, in case of the slip ring or wound rotor, the rotor core is made up of laminated silicon steel here. You can observe this is the slip ring or wound rotor type machine. Okay, in these laminations are using silicon steel I am using here. The rotor core is made up of laminated silicon steel I am using. Why I am taking the laminated silicon steel here? To reduce the eddy current losses, I am taking the laminated silicon steel here. So it means this thickness of laminations is more than the stator laminations. The thickness of the laminations is more than the stator laminations. Means windings are placed in the slots, that is the I am using a semi-closed type of slots only I am using. So here the rotor windings here, in case of the slip ring induction motor, the rotor winding must be distributed as well as short pitched just like stator winding, and the rotor number of poles must be equal to the stator number of poles, similar to the squirrel cage induction motor. In case of the slip ring induction motor also, the rotor number of poles must be equal to the stator number of poles. So this type of rotor cannot respond automatically to the changes in the stator number of poles. That is, whenever the stator number of poles are changed, the rotor number of poles must be changed. That is, the manually to the same number of, otherwise there is the no motoring action will be there. So that's why to always you need to maintain the stator poles should be equal to the rotor poles for the motoring action you need to maintain in case of the slip ring induction motor or in case of the squirrel cage induction motor. And the rotor number of phase may be not be equal to the stator number of phases also, but the rotor poles should be equal to the stator poles. That is, the point is very important in case of the slip ring induction motor or squirrel cage induction motor. And in case of the slip ring induction motor, the rotor is provided with 3-phase windings. In case of the squirrel cage induction motor, I am using the end ring bars I am using. But in case of the slip ring induction motor, I am using with the the rotor is provided with the three-phase windings. That is, the rotor winding must be connected in star irrespective of the whether the stator winding or connected in star or delta. So that is the connection will be difference in case of the squirrel cage to the slip ring induction motor. You can observe the diagram here. So this is the three-phase delta connection stator. Okay. So this is the rotor. This rotor having the star connection winding. That is a three-phase supply will be connected. For the rotor is three-phase supply by the star connection here. Okay. Then this is a phase. For example, I'm taking this is the R phase. This is the Y phase. This is the B phase. R phase is connected to the one slip ring, and Y phase is connected through the one slip ring, and the B phase is connected to the another slip ring. These are connected to the some start or stator run. This is the I'm taking here resistance data. By using these three only, this one only, this by using this starter only, I'm operating the slip ring induction motor. So in case of the slip ring induction motor, must be, that is the stator connection must be either star or delta, but the rotor construction is connected with the star connection only. Okay, because of the three-phase supply is connected in the star. Okay, that is R phase is connected to the one slip ring, another Y phase is connected to the one slip ring, and B phase is connected to the slip ring. So these are the slip rings here. These three are the slip rings. These slip rings will be operated by the starter. This is the construction of the slip ring induction motor. Okay, so you need to observe in case of the slip ring induction motor as well as a squirrel cage induction motor, the principle and the operation or the running of the rotor will be does not possible. That is the unequal number of the stator poles to the rotor poles. So that's why the rotor poles and the stator poles must be equal for the operating of the slip ring induction motor or squirrel cage induction motor. So these are the construction of the rotor in case of the induction machines. The rotor having the two types, that is slip ring induction rotor and the squirrel cage induction rotor. We discussed it. Thank you.
Like, share and subscribe. Hit the bell icon for more updates.